Good morning. My name is Christian Fan. I'm a registered nurse in Miami-Dade. This presentation is titled The Mental Reality of Nurses. It focuses on challenging the transition from nursing education to professional practice, specifically addressing mental health preparedness and solutions to nursing shortage. My practicum site was CMVC Vocational Nursing School, where I worked closely with Professor Gilbert. This was where I had my platform to engage with nursing students in my presentation. Part 1, the plan. Right, so here in this slide is where I pose the problem identifications. One of the major problems is the nursing shortages. They're a critical issue in the healthcare, with projections showing about 78,000 nurses in the US by 2025. So here is the review of literature. This is all the websites that I use for research to help research for this project. So here's my plan and goals. My goals was to design an educational module to prepare nursing students mentally and emotionally for professional demands. This was an interactive session where I had case studies for the students and reflective exercises, plus a bit of Kahoots, pre-assessment Kahoots, and also post-assessment Kahoots to see if they're learning about building resistance and understanding the mental toll of nursing. In addition, this is my PICO question. For student nurses preparing to transition into staff nurse roles, does an educational intervention focus on mental realities and challenges of nursing compared to no preparation improve their preparedness, resilience, and understanding of the real-world demands of nursing within a 3-week time frame? So this was my process for the PDSA assignment. I will be presenting my PowerPoint presentation to Professor Gilbert's nursing students, and we will be having an engaging talk as well as assigning the students into groups to host discussions. The educational session discussion will be enhanced by case scenarios and self-reflection to promote engagement, as well as doing a bit of Kahoots to keep the class involved and ask them pertinent questions about the realities of nursing. Part 2, do. So in the implementation slide, the implementation involved in delivering the module to the nursing students use discussion and group activities to engage with the students. Data collections includes quantitative and qualitative methods to evaluate the module's impact. So now we are at the results. After executing the plan at the CMVC Vocational School, the results revealed a notable impact on the students' understanding of self-care in nursing. The pre-assessment data showed that many students initially overlooked the importance of mental health, but after going over the PowerPoint slides and having discussions about self-care, it seemed to me that the students were understanding that it is very important to take care of themselves. We had a conversation about their test tomorrow, and one of the students had mentioned to me that since they're having their test tomorrow, they're going to take the time to not read over any of the materials and literally let their minds go on Zen mode and just take care of themselves mentally before they take their test instead of cramming last minute. And these right here were the handy dandy handouts that I passed out to the students that I put in groups, and also I handed this out to the professor. And this is a picture of me in professional clothing presenting my presentation to the students and Professor Gilbert. So I was using the platform Kahoot to display the questions and have a group discussion with the classmates and the students in the classroom. This is a picture of most of the pre-assessment questions. And now is the start of the presentation that I presented to the students. So here we have the pre-assessment Kahoot link. And then on the next slide, I have a discussion question. The purpose of this discussion question is to engage the students to ask, why is there a nursing shortage? And then on the next slide, I was able to answer their questions and also give feedback on some of the responses that I got from the groups. So after that, I went ahead and put on a TikTok so that the students can see a funny point of view of what it's like to be in a day in the life of a nurse. And then from here is a case scenario where I actually put some fun facts and put the students in a real life scenario where they are a nurse with 5 patients. So then on the next slide was where I was able to give information based on the 5 patients, and I asked each of the groups to rearrange the cards that I handed it out early in the presentation to prioritize the patients from highest risk or highest priority to the lowest priority. And then from here, we were able to discuss and have that conversation based on the answer of the highest priority patient. And then on the next slide, we were able to see the rest of the rearrangements from highest priority to the least priority. And then the next slide was just an advancement of the case scenario where we're moving into the early morning events and ask them questions based on how they feel. Here, the nursing students were pretty funny, and they asked me questions back to me like, oh, wow, you're asking me questions about how I feel. To which then I replied, yes, I would really love to know how you feel, because it's not every day where you are able to evaluate your feelings and based on the day throughout nursing, or even as a nursing student. Sometimes we have to have that mental check or a mental reality to make sure that our mental health is in tune. Then here was another assignment that I had the students rearrange these 3 patients. And right here, I was able to see that the students were getting the questions right in the beginning. Some students had difficulty rearranging the priority, but here is where all the groups had the answer 2, 1, and 3, and I was really proud of them. I also noticed that the students realized that there is a difference between real life nursing and also student nursing. Professor Gilbert was able to come in and also help me out and kind of make the students understand that there is a difference between clinical when you're an actual nurse and when you're a student, which you're prioritizing, especially as it pertains to falls. And then right here, I was able to have the students look at a graph that gives them pertinent information based on the trends of the nursing shortages from 2025 into 2030. And last but not least, we took a post-assessment Kahoot. So in conclusion, the discussion questions challenged students to think critically about prioritization and the emotional impact of nursing. The group activities were really a great open dialogue and allowed the students to learn from each other and even learn from my own experiences and their experiences. It was really a good time. And thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation inspires further efforts to address mental health challenges and the nursing shortage as well.